Welcome to my National Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my National Podcast. Today is Thursday. We have a lovely Thursday episode for you guys in the waits. My goodness. Today we'll be going over, I believe, chapters 25 and 26 of Beautiful Venom. And oh baby, has Beautiful Venom been getting good? And I know you guys are excited to get into those chapters as much as I am. But we have our thread first. And today's thread is a pretty interesting one. Really different from a lot of what I've done, and I'm always looking to mix things up, and so we have this thread for you guys. Our thread for today is what happened to the hottest chick at your school years later. All right, so let's see what happened to the hottest chick at your school. So she was genuinely the nicest person in our class, homecoming queen, volleyball captain, the whole package. Everyone assumed she'd end up like a model or influence or something. She became a large animal veterinarian in rural Wyoming, drives a beat-up truck, pulls calves out of cows at 3 a.m., and posts the most unhinged farm content on her personal Facebook. Married to a rancher and has 3 kids. Ran into her at a gas station in Fort Collins a couple of years ago. Same smile, absolutely zero interest in being anything other than exactly what she is. Honestly, one of the most grounded people I've ever met. That's kind of crazy. She did like a absolute 180. You know what I mean? In high school, she was the glitz, the glam, and all the pretty and this and that. And then I know her, she gets to be an adult, and she's just like, yeah, I like fucking shit up, and I like taking care of my animals. You know, like, whoa. I kind of think she probably got into that, probably because her husband, if I'm being honest with you. I guarantee you that's probably what happened. It was just like, she met this dude, you know, he was a rancher, and she just probably fell into the life and was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, this is my life. This is what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? That type of shit happens. It really does. Hey, go her, I guess. You know what I mean? All right. What happened to the hottest chick at your high school? Hottest girl in school. She was a year older than me, but we had a couple classes together in junior high and high school. Typical popular hot girl, cheerleader, tons of friends. Everyone knew her and liked her. She always seemed nice and didn't seem to fall into the mean girl trope. Ended up being a hairdresser, and I think she was into fitness competitions, so she's still hot into her 40s. She had 2 previous DUI convictions. God damn, motherfucker was like, I'm about to get the whole rap sheet for you. Was pending trial for a 3rd DUI. God damn, yo. Shit. She was drunk at 10 in the morning and hit a man that was standing beside his car that broke down. Toxicology came back and said that she blew a .13 and traces of cocaine. Damn. She pled no contest and was sentenced to 15 years to life. Yo. Damn. Just when I thought, okay, all right, she was getting her life together. Oh, okay, she got a little DUI. That's okay. All right, that's fine. Oh, she ran someone over. Okay. Wow, she was on the cocaine too. 15 years to life. Bro, it was just like, just over and over and over. Like, yo, bruh. It was one thing after another, this girl. Man. Well, that sucks. Hopefully, I was going to say hopefully she gets out soon, but she's not getting out anytime soon. Dude, 15 to life. I mean, maybe she does 15 and she can get parole or something, but god damn, bro. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. All right, what happened to the hottest chick at your high school? Married with children and has a good job. We used to write notes to each other in college in my binder. One day she wrote one on a random page, closed my binder and said, "You can't read it for 10 years. I forgot about it until years later when I was getting rid of my old college stuff and found it. In short, it said, "I love you so much." I don't know what kind of love it was, but it brought back a lot of memories where I felt like I missed a real chance with her because I couldn't pick up on her signals. Damn. Damn, dude. And the thing is she wanted you to read that. She didn't want you to actually wait years, bro. That's crazy that you actually waited years. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have. Nah, I wouldn't have waited. I would have been like, nah, girl, I want to know now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know. Damn, that sucks, bro. That really sucks. Ah, dude. Next time, man. You know, either that or she's the one that got away, you know. All right, what happened to the hottest chick in your high school? Upperclassman became a model for a version of Hooters. Wealthy parents, nicest car in the parking lot, dated the star football player in high school. Met her now husband at the place and has kids and is a stay-at-home mom and seems to be very happy. My year, she got tired of being the center of attention, and after we graduated, she got an office job and disappeared while going to college. Last I heard, her and her husband's little family are doing well on a ranch. The most popular guys have all ended up in prison. Yo. It worked out for her. You know what I mean? Little bumpy road, but it worked out for her. All the popular dudes, though, cooked. Absolutely just cooked. That's crazy, bro. Damn. Wow, that's wild. All right, what happened to the hottest chick in your high school? Tanning was hot when I was a kid. Oh, man, the Jersey Shore era? Oh, Lord. That was terrible, bro. Because there were so many white girls with bad tans in the Jersey Shore era. It was bad, bro. Oh my God. Anybody who was in middle school or middle school or high school, you know, during like, I would say maybe 2000, let's say 6 to probably 2011. That was kind of the Jersey Shore era right there, just before the swag shit started to show up. But yeah, tanning was hot when I was a kid. Her mom got her into it. She looks like a piece of overcooked bacon without the flavor. Oh, shit. Oh, that's gotta suck, dude. Damn. That tanning fucked her skin up. Dang, that's gotta suck, dude. That's gotta absolutely suck. I know, because I know there was a lot of people that used the whole just bronzer stuff. Like, they would just spray it on them, and it would make them look tan or whatever. But I know there were some people who, you know, either they could afford it, like, or their parents anyway could afford it, or they would actually go to like tan and stuff. And again, man, it just made them look leathery. You know what I mean? Like, they just look like tan leather. Like, that shit just was nasty, dude. And then they get older. Because I remember there was a girl in our in my 8th grade class. And then one summer, she was pretty too. She was a very pretty white girl, blonde hair, everything. We see her in 9th grade, and she looks leathery in the skin. It is bad. Like, her skin looked like it wasn't even accepting water. You know what I mean? And she was just like this brown tan with blonde hair. It was bad. We were like, oh my Lord. We were just like, oh no. You looking crazy in the face. Yeah, dude. Okay, what happened to the hottest chick in your high school? Married the most popular guy in the country, and they opened a gym together. Very fit, very active, very beautiful, very successful people. I hate them, obviously. Hey, sometimes it works out for them, you know what I mean? Sometimes they get everything they exactly wanted. You know, you always say to yourself, like, when you're in high school and whatnot, or even when you look back on high school, you're just like, you know, high school's not forever. It's a period of time. You know what I mean? Everything that you have now, it's temporary. You know, for some people, it isn't, though. For some people, it just keeps rolling on. You know what I mean? Oh, damn. They got lucky. All right, what happened to the hottest chick in your high school? The absolute hottest girl in my school did a lot of drugs, raves in college. And later on, she started to actually give me the time of day, so I befriended her. Turns out she would point out chemtrails in the sky or all the fake birds on our hikes. She believed she was God itself and that she was descendant to enlighten people and open their third eye. She no longer believed in deodorant or makeup or brushing her hair. Oh God, that's disgusting. Still hot, but she's pretty insane. I think she sells water with an MLM now. She deleted me off everything out of the blue, but I never cared to ask if we were okay. Maybe the birds told her something. Yo, that's crazy. She went off the fucking deep end. Drugs just took her off the edge, man. That's wild. Hey, you know, if I'm being honest with you, there's a girl I used to work with, right? She was a great girl, man. I remember my first day. Working at Stater Brothers, man. 2014. It was probably August 2nd, 2014. And I remember it was my first time ever. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This was probably like my second or third day. No, because I remember my first day I only worked 4 hours and I did nothing but bagging. But this was probably my second or third day. And I actually was doing like sweeps. And so I would go aisle to aisle, sweeping, you know what I mean? Collecting up dirt and dust and whatever crap is in the aisles. And then I would take it to the back, you know, shake out the mop, dustpan and throw whatever was away in the dustpan. Then I'd go back and do it again through the aisles. And then there was this girl. She was, I was doing go backs, you know, because I'm like, all right, I'm on sweep, but I got through all my aisles. I don't know what to do. So I decided, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do go backs. So I was doing go backs. I was looking for stuff. I didn't really know where things were. She came on over to me and she was just like, oh, do you need some help? And I'm like, yeah, I need some help. You know, coolest girl ever, man. Coolest girl ever. We got to talking, got to know each other, all this good stuff. It was great, fantastic, da-da-da. We ended up getting to a point where, you know, we started being little friends with benefits or whatever. We were hooking up, this, and that. And then, you know, she started dating some other guy. We stopped being friends with benefits. This guy got her into, like, raving and drugs and all this kind of other stuff. They ended up breaking up, and we ended up, like, linking back up again. We were friends with benefits for maybe, like, a month or so. And, you know, out of nowhere, like, in that month, I just started seeing and noticing, like, the girl was crazy. She was just insane. Like that last dude that she was dating, it just had her on drugs and had her doing all this crazy stuff. And it got to a point where it's just like, she's just weird now. She's just weird because crazy enough, you know, she hit me up recently and the conversation was just the weirdest conversation ever. Like, she was just talking about, like, how, you know, apparently she was on house arrest and how she was dying and how all of this crazy. I was just like, what is going on with you? You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy to see a person that you've known for, like, a really, really long time and you kind of knew their personality and then they show you their personality now and you're just like, damn, the fuck happened to you? Oh my God. You know, so yeah, dude, it's something else. It's definitely something else when you see that, when you're just like, whoa, that complete 180 happened, you know? All right, let's get on to our next one. What happened to the hottest chick in your high school? One of the hottest girls from my high school is now a CFO at some company and has a wife. Oh, okay. Surprise. Didn't see that coming. She always had the hottest boyfriends in high school. She's still super pretty too. Maybe she just got sick of dudes. You know what I mean? She just got sick of dudes out of nowhere. It's definitely a surprise, but, you know, yeah. She just got sick of them. She was like, fuck it. All right. On to our next one. What happened to the hottest chick in your high school? She was a swimsuit model while we were in middle school and became a Playboy bunny while we were in high school. Wow. Okay. What the fuck was a middle schooler doing as a swimsuit model? Like,
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Okay, sure, I guess. Just after graduation, she got married to a doctor twice her age that she had met at one of the Playboy parties. A few years later, he was arrested for selling prescription meds and trafficking cocaine. She got his house, a ton of money, and now some kind of fake Christian influencer. Yo.
Bruh.
What the fuck? Okay, I mean, I guess it worked out for her. Didn't work out for her marriage, but I mean, you know, did she really want to be in that marriage with him anyway? Who knows? You know what I mean? Doesn't really seem like it to me. Maybe even he didn't want to be in that marriage. I don't know. You never fucking know when it comes to these things. If I'm being real with you, wow, that's crazy. That is very, very crazy. Damn. Okay, what happened to the hottest chick at your high school? Let's see, became a heroin addict. Oh, God. Wow, that turned upside down really quickly. Is always on Facebook asking for money from people for various outrageous things, scams people, and looks terrible. Damn shame. She was a very nice person to everyone, wasn't conceited or acted like her shit didn't stink. Man, but at the same time, you know, I think she was just hiding some demons. You know what I mean? I think that's what it really was. I think she was so nice and just really sweet and, you know, not self-centered or nothing like that because, bro, she was just hiding some demons. Man. Like, because it's one of those things where it's like, you don't just become an addict. Like, what I've noticed is, like, people who have that, like, addictive personality or, you know, they're susceptible to addiction to, like, that level. They're the type of people that usually are the more, like, overly nice, you know what I mean? They're overly nice and they're overly charismatic. They're overly like a people person, you know what I mean? Like I would argue, quote unquote, normal people who are like, you know, nice and charismatic and, you know, can talk to people and whatever. Like, they don't do it to like an over degree. You know, they don't overly do it. They don't go out of their way every single time. I've noticed like people that do have very addictive personalities, though, they're the types where they overdo it. You know what I mean? Where they look at everything like there's some Buddhist monk and they're just like, no, peace needs to be done. Like, you have to turn the other cheek. I don't care if they shot your grandma. You need to turn the other cheek, man. You know, and that's what I've noticed. I've noticed those types of people are like that. They are just overly fucking nice, charismatic, and all that bullshit. And it's BS. It's 1000 BS because they're doing it and manipulation of to get you to see them in a certain way, not as a druggy weirdo person that they actually are. You know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to. And then when you see them for what they really are, you're just like, oh shit. Like, you were super nice and great and all this stuff, and you don't realize it until later on. It's something I've noticed in people, and it's wild. And honestly, think about a person, you know, who is like that, and I guarantee you they're the type of person where they're like, oh yeah, I can't go a day without smoking weed. Oh man, I can't not drink. Oh man, I can't not do something. You know what I mean? Trust me. Just think about it. Just think about that person, you know, who's just overly nice and charismatic for like no goddamn reason. Like, they do it to over the top levels. And it's funny because I even work with a girl that's like that. You know what I mean? Where she's just overly nice and overly charismatic with just everybody. And at first I thought she was just really nice and I thought she was really sweet. Then I found out, you know, she had a coke problem and I was like, oh shit. Wow. You know, and so reading this, I was just like, yeah, that must be a proven thing. You know, it's crazy to me. Absolutely crazy to me. Yeah, just, you know, think about that. All right. We're going to do two more and win the thread. What happened to the hottest chick in your high school? One of them is in prison for another 13 years for sleeping or graping one of her 13-year-old students. Yo. That's crazy, bro. Where was she at when I was 13?
What did he say?
I'm just saying, I ain't gonna lie to you, and this may sound crazy, but if I'm being honest with you, and I know in the back of your mind some dudes agree with me, where it's just like when you see these stories and these headlines of like, oh, young teacher was sleeping with 14 to 16-year-old boys, blah blah blah. In your mind, you're just like, bruh, I wish, because when we were younger, we all had that teacher crush, okay? Do not lie to me. We've all had that teacher crush. We've all had that one teacher where we're just like, oh my God. Oh my God. For me, it was Miss Beeman. God damn. Oh, Miss Beeman. She was beautiful. She was amazing. I was like, I would come into her class all the time. I remember I TA'd for her class just to be near her, man. I was just like, oh, I would go to that class so chipper. I would never be late to that class. Oh my God, that class was the best. God damn, Miss Beeman was the best. I was just like, yeah, call me. I'm legal now. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. All right, this will be our last one. What happened to the hottest chick in your high school? I always had a huge crush on her. Middle school, I was quite a dork. She was way out of my league to the point that I never spoke to her. She was quite popular, very fun, and a bit of a troublemaker. I transferred out during my freshman year, and I didn't see her until I was a senior. It's actually funny, but when she saw me as a senior, I had grown taller and started dressing like an actual person. She saw me, beamed, and ran up to me. She greeted me by name, and she missed seeing me, wondering where I had ended up, and it was wonderful to see her again. She also mentioned that she missed having me in class, but it was much more boring without me. It was funny how that would have been something that younger me would have loved, to have your crush see you, smile, and then run to you is the stuff of dreams are made of. Anyway, she's currently in jail for a series of crimes, including grand theft auto. God damn. Auto drug possession. God damn. Weapons charges. Fleeing from police. And being rescued by the police after getting stuck in a stream while trying to escape them. God damn, she was actually one of Washington's most wanted for a minute.
Bruh.
What in the hell, man? Jesus. Later, it was also discovered that she was behind a string of robberies. Bro, I'm afraid to read the rest. Which resulted in her beating a barista with a tip jar and shooting her. Wow. Bruh. The barista is alive, by the way. She's just deathly afraid of change now. Yeah, I would be deathly afraid of a change jar too if it led me to being shot, bruh. She was literally just like, give me this fucking change jar, you stupid. Boom! Like, yo! Over a change jar, bruh. That's... Hey, man, I'm glad you didn't end up with her. Glad you didn't date her, man, because imagine if you dated her. Imagine that was your girlfriend, bruh. Imagine you just getting dragged into all that shit. The fact that she was on a most wanted list, bruh. Oh, bruh. That girl was nothing but bad news. Nothing but bad news. That's crazy. Wow, that's crazy. All right. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that thread. You guys let me know what you thought about it in the comments. And if you have a story of your hottest girl in high school and where she's at now and the crazy shit she's up to today, or maybe not crazy what she's up to today. Maybe she's living a normal life. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. All right. we're going to hop through announcements and get right on into our lovely book. So, patreon.com/Mind the podcast. Get an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show. All right. Thank you guys so much for all of the support, audio listeners. Thank you for all of the downloads. You guys are absolutely killing it, and I love you guys so much and appreciate all of the support. And rate us 5 stars on your preferred platform. If you want to support us even more, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate everything. We have been jumping in the subscribers. We are almost at kind of what I wanted to be my mid-year goal. My mid-year goal was to hit 5K subs. And we are literally 600 subscribers away from that goal. So if you want to help out, please definitely hit the link tree down in the description. Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate that so very much. Let's get to that 5K, baby. And I'm hoping by the end of the year, we hit maybe 10K. That's probably the end of the year goal. So without further ado, though, we're going to get right on into the book. And we're going to do our thing. So this is going to be, I believe, chapters 25 and 26. Okay, here we go.
24. Cain. After the meeting with my father, I'm thirsty for a venting outlet. Grant explicitly said that if Dahlia, the not important member of the equally not important Thorne family, proves to be a weakness, he'll personally eliminate her. I'm already a freak accident of my mother's weak genes that he spent so much effort into molding into a true Davenport, and he will not allow any gold-digging trailer trash to mess with his progress. Progress. I suppose that could also be another word for his fucked up methods. Regardless of Grant's threats and unpleasant methods, this has only solidified the idea I've been shoving into the back of my mind for a while now. I need to stay the fuck away from Dahlia. She's already proving to be a nuisance, digging her tiny claws where they don't belong and burying her nose so far up in my business, it's hard to maintain the mask I've been wearing almost all my life. She knows the right words that push my buttons and always has her fucking hands all over me as if she has every right to, as if my clear rejections mean nothing. This is my chance to categorically cut her off, for her sake, and mine. She sent me several texts and Samuel had to drag her out of the house earlier this evening. And there was dragging, because I've seen security footage of that fucking girl trying to follow me. When Samuel stopped her, she screamed,
"Either let me go, or you check on him. Don't just stand there and do nothing. Why does no one do anything?"
Since Samuel shares the same emotions as a wall, he carried her out and managed to drop her off at her dorm. He later told me she called him and Grant names the entire ride. Afterward, she proceeded to bombard my phone.
"Dahlia, are you okay? Dahlia, please tell me you're not hurt. Dahlia, you're wrong about what you said earlier. I don't pity you. I'm scared, okay? Dahlia, I know you think it's nothing, and I can't begin to imagine what it was like to have been exposed to that form of abuse since you were a child. But some of my foster parents beat me, and while it wasn't systematic and usually happened because I rebelled, I know shit like that messes with your head, Cain. Childhood trauma changes the fabric of your soul. It sucks out the positive energy and replaces it with fragments of darkness. I know, because it affected me. Losing my parents and knowing it was my fault made me think I deserved every hellish thing I went through afterward. It wasn't until Violet came along and told me the accident wasn't my fault and that blaming myself and spiraling wouldn't make my parents happy in the least that I realized I was wrong. I still have my issues, and I'm by no means claiming to be perfect, but I don't sweep my trauma under the rug. You shouldn't either. Dahlia, I hope that didn't sound patronizing or wasn't too much information. I'm not used to opening up to people, so I'm kind of new to this whole thing. I just want to help, I guess. Dahlia, talk to me, Cain. We can listen to each other even if we come from different worlds.
As I said, I'm cutting her off. She's getting too close for comfort and it's reshuffling my priorities, hindering my goals and clouding my judgment. Liar. She's been clouding your judgment since the first time you saw her. Ready for some fun? Preston's voice echoes around me, pulling me from my deep thoughts. He's standing at my left, draped head to toe in black, including the gloves. Even his blonde hair takes on a shadowy hue in the night, as he draws his turtleneck sweater up to his chin and toys with a knife. You can have all the fun you want, but his life is mine, Jude says from my right as he twirls his hockey stick. Like Preston and me, he's dressed in black, but he's also wearing a raincoat, since he loves getting up close and personal with his victims, meaning smashing their skulls in. It's a good idea to protect oneself from all the blood splashes. When Jude sent the text to invite us to his latest hunt, I agreed. Usually I don't come along, leaving him and Preston to their own devices. I don't revel in bloodlust. Don't consider killing and violence a viable purging method like Jude does. When I'm assigned to kill someone, I do it with a gun and a silencer. Other times I pay people to slip poison into their drink, because that's how I deal with things, in a clean-cut way and under complete control. I don't like messes, and I certainly loathe the cleanup. Preston isn't violent on the ice or in public, but in the darkness, or when it's only the three of us, he unleashes his unhinged side. Truth is, he's a bloodthirsty motherfucker who revels in seeing the life leaving people's eyes. No weapon? Preston asks me. I slip my phone into my pocket and push my jacket aside to reveal the gun. Man, you're so boring. Jude shakes his head. I bet it comes with a silencer, too. Naturally, can't leave evidence behind. This is literally my family's force, and we have the cleanup team on standby. Preston walks up to Jude and wraps an arm around his shoulders. Just say you hate life, unlike me and the big man. Jude slams his stick against Preston's shoulder. Don't kill him. He's all mine. Finders keepers, Preston sings in a manic tone, then jumps off the porch. Motherfucker! Jude rushes behind him, and soon they both disappear between the tall trees in a blur of movements. I remain still for a few seconds, then take the stairs one at a time. Jude released his target for the night about 15 minutes ago, and we all watched the sleazy middle-aged man go north. There's no need to rush. Tall trees loom above me, their branches reaching out like skeletal hands against the dark sky. The moon slips in and out of view, its pale light flickering through the thick clouds, casting silver slashes across the forest floor. As I walk, the dirt beneath my shoes crunches, the sound swallowed immediately by the weight of the night. I stop, my breath steady as I steady the ground and turn on my flashlight. There they are, hectic, heavy, nonconformist footsteps in the mud. I ignore the other footsteps that barely leave any trace. They're Preston's. Jude's are heavier, but not as irregular, and they certainly don't stink of terror. The air smells of damp earth and pine, sharp and fresh, but it also reeks of decay. Old leaves rot in the underbrush, the scent mingling with the cold bite of the wind as it snakes through the trees. Although amidst it, there's the tangible smell of sweat, fear, and a hopeless ending. But it barely touches me or breaches the surface. I'm bored. I find no pleasure whatsoever in this sort of chase. No excitement, no fucking emotions. I'd rather be chasing my wildflower as she comes up with all her clever ways to hide. Just the thought of being hot on her trail makes me hard. Hell, my cock twitches at the memory of the last time I hunted her down at my place and fucked her on the stairs like a caveman. Stop thinking about her. This whole thing is meant to help me disassociate from her. Somewhere in the distance, an owl hoots, its sound echoing through the trees. Small creatures rustle in the shadows before they vanish into the undergrowth. A larger shadow breezes past me. Jude. He's a blur, running at full speed between the tall, leaning trees. I realize why. On my other side, Preston is running too, his lighter weight giving him leverage as he cuts the distance. The prey skitters, its movements frantic. I forge ahead without picking up my pace. observing the branches weaving together above like a cage. In a sense, this world has been our cage since birth. I used to wonder where the three of us would have ended up if we were born into normal families. Jude wouldn't need to be so violent. Preston wouldn't have lost his mind. I wouldn't have to be this, whatever this is. But I learned to just accept it, make the most of it, I suppose. My steps are steady on the uneven ground that's slick with moss and damp leaves, making each move a potential hazard. But I know this forest like the back of my hand. The man we're hunting doesn't. The moon flickers again, slipping behind a thick wall of clouds, plunging the forest into near total darkness. A thud sounds in the distance, and a muffled noise follows. I stop. The air shifts, colder now, brushing against my face as I advance deeper into the woods. My pulse is steady and calm, every muscle in my body coiled. An outsider is here. Aside from the target of the day, there are now 4 of us on the property. Who the fuck dares to trespass on our private property? The Armstrongs own this forest, and we're the only ones allowed in it. We had our first test of courage here. We were abandoned in that haunted cottage for 2 days when we were kids, and were forced to separate, every man for himself. Not even regular VinCorp members have access to this forest. I reach into my waistband and retrieve my gun. The trees close in tighter, the branches scraping against each other, and the owl calls again, but this time it's closer. The wind picks up, carrying a faint, familiar scent. A scream echoes in the silence, followed by a thud, thud, thud. The scream slowly fades until there's only the loud sound of the thuds. Jude's stick. He and Preston must have gotten the man and killed him. But that doesn't matter now. There's an intruder who needs to be dealt with. I push the low branches out of my way with the gun, my other hand holding the flashlight on top of my weapon. A rustle comes from behind me and I spin around, my finger resting on the trigger. A mouse scurries away, blinded by the light. The sound of running reaches me and I sprint ahead, then stop. While I don't find the outsider, I spot Jude standing by the bloodied corpse of his latest victim. The man's face is unrecognizable. Half of it has turned to mush as he slumps against a tree, his head lolled against his belly. Jude's stick is dripping with blood, and his raincoat is smeared with dark stains. He tilts his head in my direction, his face splashed, his eyes blank. Not enough. He died too soon. Give me another name, Kane. It's a high, an obsession, the feeling of never having enough of something, no matter how much you consume it. It's why I steer clear of anything prone to muddying my logic. I don't do fixations or attachments, obsessions or addictions, until Dahlia fucking Thorne. She's the addiction I can't shake off. Even during the hunt, I only joined to forget her. My right hand still grasping my gun, I squeeze Jude's shoulder with the other. Don't spiral. Fuck that. He shakes my hand off and steps back, pointing his bloody stick at me. What do I have to do for you to give me the entire list? Not possible. What if I kidnapped your new little toy? That would be both foolish and unproductive. You lay your hands on her and I'll burn that list to the ground. He snarls. I stare back. Fuck. I can't believe I'm threatening my friends and throwing away my bargaining chips for that fucking woman. She's nothing. Correction, she should be nothing. Preston is right. He slaps me across the face with the bloodied stick. You fucking lost it for pussy. That girl would betray you to get what she wants. She'd abandon you and not look back. I'm abandoning her first, but that doesn't mean any of you gets to touch her. I push his stick, sending it flying to the ground. Where's Armstrong? Fuck if I know. He stabbed the sorry fuck a few times, not enough to kill him, but then he disappeared altogether. Right before you found the target. Yeah, Preston would never, and I mean never, miss a death ceremony, as he likes to call it. That's his favorite part of the hunt, whether he gets to kill the prey himself or watch Jude do it. He loathes my swift killing methods and rarely lingers around for that, but he knew Jude would get this one and still disappeared. Jude grabs his stick. You think the uninvited guest is behind his disappearance? You felt it too? Yeah, we have an outsider. We share a look, Jude's frown mirroring mine. An outsider. And Preston vanished. This is not good. I motion north. I'll cover you. He runs and I sprint behind him, going down the paths we learned through our childhood training. We know this forest inside out. Preston does too. I'm usually concerned about that lunatic as is, but this is even worse. Thwack, thwack, thwack. The sound grows stronger as we get closer. Jude and I come to a halt at a small opening with intertwined branches. A large figure is on top of Preston, punching him to smithereens, and Preston is laughing like a fucking maniac. Upon sensing our presence, the man shoves Preston against a tree trunk and scurries off. I catch a glimpse of a solid white mask as he pulls his hoodie over his head and runs. I aim my gun at him, but Preston, who was happy with being beat to a pulp not 2 seconds ago, jumps up and stands in my way. What the fuck are you doing? I bypass him, but the intruder has already disappeared through the trees. I'll chase. Jude starts in the direction he disappeared in. Preston places a hand on his chest and pushes him. He's my prey. Back off. His mouth is bruised, blood gushing from the corners of his lips and trickling to his neck. His shirt is ripped at the collar, and there's a knife slash on his arm, blood soaking his shirt and gluing it to his skin. I raise a brow. I haven't seen you this injured in a long time. You sure he's the prey? Of course he is, he says maniacally and laughs loud, throwing his head back. He's lost his mind again, Jude sighs. Who is he, Preston? He smiles, all his teeth showing creepily. He dared to hunt me in my own goddamn place. Love that. You should have let us catch him, dumbass. Jude hits him upside the head. Preston doesn't even retaliate, still laughing, still lost in a high. No, I'm going to hunt him too before I chop him into tiny little pieces. Oh my, I'm getting hard thinking about it. I'm so fucking hard. Focus, man, Jude says. You fuck off, both of you. I'll arrange to clean up and watch some security footage. Find out how he managed to trespass on this place, Press, I say. Not important. He laughs as he walks away. Not fucking important. Get your dick sucked, Jude shouts. Don't go fucking crazy. Preston only laughs again as he staggers between the trees, the sounds echoing like a symphony of chaos. No one can handle him when he's in this mode. He hardly ever goes crazy, but when he does, it's a fucking drag. He's going to do something stupid and probably get himself killed, Jude says. We should stop him. I run up behind Preston and then hit his nape with the gun. He falls to his knees and the annoying sound of his laughter disappears. Well, that definitely stopped him, Jude says. He'll fuck you up when he wakes up. You know he hates being knocked out. Then he should have controlled his animal side better. I won't clean up his messes. You have a point. Jude surveys the forest with a critical gaze. Who do you think that was? I don't know, but we need to find, then eliminate him. I sheath my gun and grab Preston's arm. Help me carry him back. What a nuisance, Jude grumbles. Always a damn fucking baby. Even as he says that, he rips his shirt and wraps it around Preston's wound, then carefully slings the injured arm over his shoulder. When we were children, Preston was slim and bony with baby features and often got bullied for looking like a girl. And while he made their lives hell afterward, mostly through some form of manipulation, he was physically weak and unable to defend himself. Somehow, Jude became his shield and proceeded to knock those boarding school kids' teeth out. Unfortunately, it didn't stop at bullying. Once Preston was missing during a late evening dorm activity, and Jude and I ditched the thing and went to search for him. We found him in a cellar with a teacher who was spreading Preston's naked legs and on the verge of sexually assaulting him. Jude got a candelabra and hit him on the head over and over again while I immobilized him. Preston's face was bruised, his bony body covered in semen, and he had a dead look in his eyes, until Jude gave him a knife and told him to finish him. He only smiled when that sleazy teacher's eyes rolled to the back of his head, and he spit out his last disgusting breath. That was our first murder at 10 years old. Naturally, our parents covered up the incident as a freak accident, but they didn't pull us out of the school. In fact, Jude and I were punished for the mess. Preston was sent to a therapist who, instead of helping him, diagnosed him with early signs of antisocial personality disorder. Preston never talks about it, but Jude and I suspect that wasn't the first time something like that happened to him. Until he was a teenager, people said he looked so beautiful with curly features, especially when he had his hair long. That, plus the fact that he's a provocateur who loves to insult everyone, attracted the wrong crowd in a boys-only school full of sick freaks. Which is why Jude and I have always been wary about any creepy fucks coming near him. It's also why Jude pummels anyone who dares to slam into Preston during games. Jude is a protective mama bear of sorts, even though Preston became fully capable of defending himself a long time ago. However, the scene from now is concerning. He just lay down and took the beating, which he never does. I'm wondering if he was triggered in some way. You think it's one of those motherfuckers? Jude asks in a low voice as we balance Preston between us and walk through the dense forest. No, they wouldn't dare touch him as he is now. He went crazy, Kane. There's an edge to his words. He rarely ever lets himself slip that far now that he's had himself under control for so long. What if they're targeting him again? Simple. We'll maim every last one of them and let him bathe in their blood. Every last one of them. Jude smirks. We might need a list. Your favorite. I smile. At least there's something to keep me distracted from the chaos in my mind, even temporarily.
You haven't answered my texts.
That's the first thing I hear the next morning, coming from a tiny woman with an overflowing temper. Dahlia blocks the arena's entrance with a hand on her hip. Her brown hair is pulled into a messy ponytail. Her eyes are bloodshot, and she has dark circles that could be spotted from a mile away. So much for keeping a distance. That should have been your clue, I say in a cold tone and start to bypass her. She opens her arms wide, halting me in place.
All I wanted was a confirmation of whether or not you're okay.
Since when is that any of your business? You're nothing to me, Dahlia.
Liar.
She lifts her chin.
You care about me.
I let out a mocking laugh that fills the space. You fell for that. You're much more naive than I thought, but then again, you've always been a bit slow to catch up to things. Her lips tremble. A gleam appears in her eyes. I've never seen Dahlia cry outside of sex, and while I crave it when I'm fucking her, right now I want to impale myself. But I remain silent. She needs to fuck off out of my life. I need the peace and quiet I used to experience before she came along, and not this constant state of being on the edge of something. What? I don't even know.
Are you pushing me away?
She finally says, her voice low, almost weak. Dahlia doesn't do weak. Not even when I fuck her like a damn inhumane monster. My cold voice is completely detached from my thoughts. See, you're slow, but you always get there.
Why are you doing this? Because I care? Because I want to make sure you're okay?
Because you're starting to get emotionally involved. I told you that's off the table. You shouldn't have allowed me to crush you through those idealistic, gullible feelings. She balls her fists even as her chin trembles.
So that's it?
That's it. You're officially banished from Vencor. I'm done with you now.
done with me? Liar. You're a fucking liar, Kane. You're not done with me. You're running away because you're a damn coward who can't handle your emotions for me. You can't handle how you let go when you're around me.
She stabs my chest with a finger.
You can't fucking handle me.
The spot she touches burns, as if she's injecting poison into my veins. I let the mask remain in place and speak in a calm tone. You can stay on the team if you stop bothering me. And then I bypass her.
You'll regret this.
She shouts at my back.
I'll make sure you regret this, you fucking asshole.
I'm regretting it already. But it's better I let her go of my own volition before she's violently snatched from me. Dahlia Thorne is a mistake that should have never happened. I was greedy for the first time in my life. And if there's something I know about greed, it's that you always pay in blood.
25. Dahlia. Kane has made good on his promise. He hasn't looked at me since he ended things a little over a week ago, not even once. Not even when I made sure I was in his field of vision during practice and the head doctor's checkups and briefings. So I matched his energy. Kane who? I don't even like the asshole. If he's going to give me the cold shoulder and erase me as if I never existed, he'll receive the same treatment. But I've been finding myself becoming irrationally angry lately, especially since Isabella came back into the picture. I thought she'd spend the rest of the year hiding after Kane somehow made her disappear, but apparently I was wrong. Not only has she started showing up at the arena, using her brother as a pretext, but she also rubs herself all over Kane any chance she gets. And he lets her. So you know what? I'm going to make him regret it like I promised. It's not even about him being my way in anymore. It's about my pride. I won't allow that dick to walk all over me and get away with it. I'm not someone he can simply use and then discard as if I lack any form of human emotion. Besides, I've been following the Gavin, Ryder, and Hunter lead. And while I still haven't been able to obtain Hunter's DNA, I've gotten close to Ryder. Mainly because I helped him with a strain in his shoulder. He now frequently stops to say good morning, oftentimes accompanied by a silent Hunter. Gavin is less welcoming and doesn't talk to me, but he doesn't glare at me the entire time either. Probably because everyone heard about my official banishment from their stupid organization. In any case, I'm pretty sure I'll be invited to the next party that will be thrown at Hunter's place, if not by Hunter, then by Ryder, and that will be my chance to gather the DNA sample. In the meantime, I pretended to need access to the team doctor's records for paperwork, and searched for the one from September 20th, but it didn't mention anything about their unknown injury. So I tried talking to the doctor, but I'm pretty sure he's related to Vencor, or at least pretty close. Because when I asked about the unknown injury entry, he said, "That's what we put sometimes when players miss practice due to a hangover. Don't overthink it." Yeah, right. I didn't push, though, because that would only make him suspicious. But I'm still holding on to hope about Hunter's DNA. If it's a positive match, I can finally find out who did that to Violet. In the meantime, I'm focusing on building a friendship with Ryder. One of the perks of joking around with Ryder is him telling me about the coffee shops and bars the team members hang out in. He also invited me over once, but then withdrew it, after a talk with Kane. Fuck that asshole. It's not like I was dying to be in the same space as him. Anyway, turns out Ryder was also getting close to me for a reason. Megan. He'd wanted my cute friend's number ever since he saw us together at a coffee shop. As I'm walking off campus, I call Megan and tell her about the news. She screams in my ear for like a minute before saying, "Thank you, Jesus, for finally giving me what others have. I prefer Jude, but I'd ride Ryder any day. Or like, he rides me. You know, like his name." "So that's a yes?" I ask. "Heck yeah, baby." "Shouldn't you think this through? I think he's associated with the people controlling the town." Doesn't matter. It's only sex. All right, but be careful, yeah? I will. Do a girl a favor and don't make me look desperate. I got you. I'll say you don't know about it, and I'm doing him a favor. Act surprised when he texts. I'll be the queen of drama. Gosh, what am I wearing? I want to borrow that hot green dress of yours, but my ass won't fit. How about the stretchy pink one? Can I borrow it? No, I told you I'm sending them back with the others. You already did, and they were returned to you. I'll donate them to charity then. Me? She says, offended. Donate them to me. I don't want to see them, Megan. If I give them to you, he'll think I kept them out of sentimental value. Dee, honey, this shit can bring you at least $100K if you sell them. You can keep the money for physical therapy once your sister wakes up. Quit with the stupid pride. Since that boy broke your heart, you get to keep all the shit he gave you. That's the rule. He did not break my heart. Totally believable with the way you've been acting this week. I've been acting just fine. You've been a grumpy mess and have been cursing Kane out of the blue as if you're possessed. That's a broken heart right there. Nope, I'm just planning my revenge. Another sign of a broken heart. I warned you to stay away from the vipers. And yet you're excited about Ryder. I don't catch feelings for Dick. I'm excited to fuck him, not date him. Anyway, want me to help with selling the clothes and shoes? Do whatever you want. Including borrowing the pink dress? You can keep it. OMG! Love you. I'll consider it my commission. Got to go. There's a sound of shuffling on the other end. Make me seem like the hottest girl ever when you talked about me to Ryder. He's already smitten. You don't need it. We always need a bit of a morale boost. Laters. I shake my head as I hang up. A body slams into mine, and I pause as pink pumps stop in front of me. Watch where you're going, Charity. I inhale deeply as I raise my head and smile sweetly at Isabella. Me? Seems you're the one who has no sense of direction. One of her minions is about to say something, but she holds up a hand. Don't waste your breath on a nobody who was dropped so fast no one remembers her name. My hand fists around my phone, but I remain silent, my smile still in place. I refuse to give her the satisfaction of seeing me fall. If you're done wasting my time, I start to walk past her. Don't take it personally. She speaks close to my face. People like you come and go all the time. You could have never competed with me. Kane has always been mine. Funny, because I swear you disappeared from his side for weeks after you tried to drug me, and he got you kicked out of the organization. He either threatened or hurt you, I'm not sure which, but what I am sure about is that your feelings aren't reciprocated. And yours are? Probably not, but I'm not delusional. Maybe, but you sure are jealous. You're always glaring at me. It gives me the creeps. She smiles. Got to go and get ready for meeting my Kane later. Try not to commission a voodoo doll and curse me. Charity. I won't punch her in the face. I will not stoop that low for some asshole. As she walks away with a sway to her hips and mocking laughter, however, I bring out my phone. Isabella and Kane can go to hell for all I care, then have tiny babies blessed by Satan himself. But I meant it about him regretting this. Two can play his sick game, and yes, I'm petty. Me. Hi.
Ryder. Thorn, you got me the number.
Maybe. If you tell me where you guys are hanging out tonight.
Man, Captain will kill me for this. He made it clear that you're not to be invited anywhere he's at.
I draw a circle on my thumb and try not to be affected. Thinking it is one thing, but actually knowing the truth feels as if I've been stabbed. Is it supposed to hurt this much? No. This isn't pain. It's anger. It has to be anger. Me. I'm not asking you to invite me. Just tell me the place. No one will know.
Ryder, you're so lucky you have a hot friend. Here's the address.
He sends me a location, and I reply with Megan's number.
Ryder. Sweet. Also, don't let Captain know I sent the address. He's already a pain in the ass these days. Don't want to get on his bad side.
Me. Don't worry. I exit the chat with Ryder and open a new one with the contact titled 2-Week Mistake. Me. Are you in the mood for some drama?
2-week mistake. Always.
Later that night, I arrive at the club with my arm wrapped around Marcus's. It was his choice to come here, knowing it's full of the Vipers, but if there's one thing I'm sure about when it comes to Marcus, it's that he doesn't give a fuck about anyone, me included. He's only here to stir up chaos like he does wherever he goes. The club pulses with life, a low hum of music vibrating through the walls and under my skin. The air is thick with an overpowering mixture of alcohol and perfume. Neon lights flash above, cutting through the smoke that hangs in the air and casting the room in shades of green and red. It's crowded, packed with bodies swaying to the bass-heavy beat that thumps from the speakers, loud enough to rattle the glass bottles lined up behind the bar. I step through the door, the click of my heels drowned out by the music, and I can feel eyes eating my skin. Megan managed to turn me into a swan again, thick eyeliner, smoky shadow, and red lips. She also insisted I wear the green dress she couldn't fit into. It clings to my body, the silky fabric sliding over my skin with every step. It's bold, with a plunging neckline, an open back, and a slit that teases more than it reveals. It's meant to be noticed. It's also meant to be a message. I'm wearing the dress he bought me while I'm with another man. And not just any man. Marcus Osborne is the arch nemesis of the entire Vipers team and a reminder of their recent humiliation. His presence is solid beside me, but it's all for show. His hand rests possessively at my waist, and I let it. His body heat presses against mine as he leans in to whisper,
Is it just me? Or do you now make more effort to look so fucking hot?
Should have kept me when you had me, instead of trying to share me with your friends. He laughs, the sound drowned out by the thrumming music as we stop by the bar. It's dim, mostly lit by a purple neon glow, and animated by people shouting over the music.
You're still mad about that, Dahlia? I told you, I don't do relationships. They're a fucking drag. And I let you go, didn't I? But maybe I'll try to seduce you again tonight.
That train has left the station.
I can see that. Davenport is such a boring choice, though. You could have gone for someone more interesting.
What's your idea of interesting?
The prince.
He grins as he raises his glass to the second floor.
On second thought, anyone but the prince.
My ears prickle, and I can feel heavy eyes stripping me naked and clawing at my skin. When I follow Marcus's field of vision, I see almost the entire Vipers team in the VIP area above. Some are dancing, but many of them are standing by the glass barrier, all scowling at Marcus. All except for Preston, who looks bored as he sips from his drink, and Ryder, who winces at me. But the one who's glaring the most? The one who seems to be on the verge of exploding? Kane. He looks so cutthroat and domineering in black pants and a white polo shirt with his hair slicked back. He watches me with cold intensity, his fingers tightening around his glass. And Isabella is standing by his side, running her claws all over his collar. But his entire attention is on me, eyes burning, lips slightly snarling. I can almost feel his hand wrapping around my throat, squeezing as he whispers hot, angry words in my ear. And I smile. This is making him regret what he said, what he's done. If he doesn't care about me like he said that day, why would he look like he's on the verge of decapitating my date medieval style?
Whoa!
Marcus laughs.
I can feel the hostility. Oh my, they hate me that much, huh?
In their defense, you're the hate-inducing type. I look at him and pretend to smile at what he's saying.
I am, right?
He grins.
So why isn't he hating?
Who's he? Abandoning his drink, Marcus grabs my arm.
Let's get in the show we're here for.
He drags me to the dance floor, wraps his arms around either side of my waist, and crushes me to his chest as we sway to the music. I push him back a little. This is only an act. Don't get carried away.
Shh.
He lifts my hand and places it on his chest.
I thought you wanted revenge. So show him how much he's missing.
You know what? He's right. The entire point of this little plan is to mess with Kane as much as he's messed with me. I sway to the trendy song, then turn around and rub my ass all over Marcus. The music thrums, a deep bass line that resonates in my chest as I glide my fingers into my hair and give it my all. Marcus's hands wrap around my hips, flowing in sync with me. When I look back, he's smiling with a manic edge.
1.
What are you counting? He spins me around and palms my cheek.
2.
What are you doing?
3.
He leans down. I step back and whisper yell, "Don't kiss me." His breaths dance along my skin.
4.
Marcus!
5.
He barely finishes saying the word when an arm slashes through the air, coils around his throat, and yanks him back with raw power. Preston is the one who did that, immobilizing him. But the one who's grabbing his arm and twisting it in the air is Kane. Cold lines stretch across his face and his nostrils flare.
My, oh my.
Marcus laughs and doesn't attempt to fight.
I'm honored by the warm welcome.
Kane twists harder. Don't, I say once I recover. Let him go.
You defend him again and I'll break his arm.
Kane doesn't look at me.
Just say one more fucking word, Dahlia, and I swear he'll never play another game in his life.
I purse my lips.
I'm so scared.
Marcus looks back at Preston, grinning.
Save me. You better shut the fuck up if you know what's best for you.
Preston says in a deadpan voice.
My heart is pounding. From absolute boredom. Hey, sweetheart.
Marcus licks his lips.
I think we should get out of here. You said you couldn't wait to ride my cock.
Preston strangles him harder at the same time that Kane twists his arm. God damn it. That asshole Marcus doesn't seem to care about his life. I'm not sure whether Preston will choke him to death or Kane will break his arm first. I certainly don't want to be the reason Marcus loses his career, especially since I was the one who invited him to the Viper's Den. There's nothing I can do about Preston, but Kane. I release a dramatic sigh. Oh, this is such a hassle. I'm going to find someone else. And with that, I walk out as Marcus's laughter echoes around me. I'm not sure if Kane follows, but I keep my head high as I push through the crowd. A few seconds later, a strong hand grabs my wrist, and Kane swings me around in one swift motion. His face hovers so close to mine as he growls out.
You truly fucked up, Dahlia.
I yelp as he throws me over his shoulder and walks out of the club. 26. Dahlia.
All right. And that has been today's episode. I thought it was 25, but it was 24. Apologize on that one. But that was chapters 24 and 25. Hopefully you guys had enjoyed the episode. Have a good day. I will see you guys tomorrow for the free Patreon Day episode. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for that. And then I'll see you guys on Sunday with me and Michael. And that's going to be the week. So I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.